In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use a calculator to solve the problem we looked at in the previous video nice and quickly. Once again, I'm going to be doing so using this Casio Class Whiz calculator, but you can do all of the same things on other calculators as well. All right, so here's the problem we saw in the previous question, and let's think about how we use the calculator to do it. So once again, we're going to use the frequency table mode in the calculator, which I'll just set up here. So we're going to first go to our menu and make sure we're in stats mode. So that's option 6. We are dealing with one variable data because we're only looking at foot length here. So that's option 1. Now, here's our frequency table ready for us to key in the data. If you don't have this frequency column, remember to get that, you go Shift to get to Setup, and then scroll down until you get to Statistics, which is option 3, and just make sure frequency is turned on. So you want option 1. Now that we've got that, we need to key in our data. Now, notice they don't give you the option to give a range like we've got here. You have to give a specific number. So that number is going to have to be the midpoint. So you will need to go in and first write down the midpoints. So we're just going to go in and make sure we've put our midpoints here. So that's 11, 14.5, 18, 20, 22, and 24. And now that we've got that, we get our calculator back up and we can go ahead and key it in. So our X values here are just the midpoints. So 11, 14.5, 18, 20, 22, and 24. And our frequencies are the frequencies. So 5, 53, 29, 15, 11, and 7. Now that your data is in there, you can press AC. Don't worry, it's not going to clear the data. And to get to our calculations, we go to Options, and then we're interested in the one variable calculations. So in there is all the good stuff. So in the previous video, we did calculate that the mean was 17.13, so that's fine, that's reassuring. But it also gives us all of this other stuff, like the sum of the x's, and in fact, loads of other stuff that we're going to use later on. So if you were going to be using the calculator to solve this, it's these values that you need to take a note of. Remember, the working that you need to show is as follows. You need to show that you understand that the mean is calculated by taking the sum of the x's and dividing by n. And if you want, you can write that as the sum of the frequencies times the x's divided by the sum of the frequencies, but you don't need to. And then what you take from the calculator screen is the sum of the x's was 2055.5 divided by the 120, because there are 120 children, and then we get our mean of 17.13. So the examiner is looking for a correct sum of the x's here divided by the right number and a correct mean. So that's how you can use the calculator to massively speed up your calculations in questions like that.